The Manhattan grand jury impaneled to hear evidence in the Trump Organization's finances expired today, meaning the former president will likely not face criminal charges in the near future, if at all. Joining us now is Karen Friedman Agnifilo, who worked in Manhattan DA Cy Vance's office as one of his top deputies. Thanks for being with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So when DA Alvin Bragg took office, replacing your former boss, Cy Vance, he raised a lot of concerns about the strength of the case. And so hearing this news today, I think a lot of people are wondering, is this an instance where perhaps the evidence isn't there? Was it not strong enough? Or maybe does Bragg not have the stomach to fight this? Or is this politics at play? We want to get your take on this.
So what happened today is the grand jury term expired for the special grand jury that was convened specifically to hear this case. And this was convened under Cy Vance. It was supposed to sit for, I think it was about 6 months. And it always had an expiration date of today if it was going to be extended. So when Alvin Bragg announced that the grand jury was continuing, but however, Mark Pomerantz and Carrie Dunn resigned, and they resigned very publicly, it was expected that this was going to expire today. So this was not a big surprise what happened today, and this was going to happen either way based on the fact that the two biggest prosecutors on the case, or the most senior prosecutors on the case, resigned because they said Alvin Bragg had decided not to go forward with the case in this posture. But Alvin Bragg came out afterwards saying the investigation continues. He's looking for more evidence. And I think the investigation, I don't think he would have said that if it wasn't true. I think the case, he felt it needed more evidence. And I think that whether some people have reported he's looking for someone to come forward and turn on Donald Trump, or I know that more subpoenas were issued this week. There's many different ways that the case could potentially go forward still under Alvin Bragg. As I said, I don't think he would have said that it's still ongoing and put some senior people on it if it wasn't in fact still ongoing. I just think it was a judgment call, and he didn't feel that the evidence that they had was quite enough. So he let this grand jury expire, and the grand jury continues. Look, I think something that happened that also came out this week is in a completely separate civil filing, deposition transcript of Trump came out where he admitted under oath to being the person who solely made certain decisions about one of his top advisors of the Trump Organization, Mr. Calamari. And that potentially, for example, could be used as evidence against him in a different investigation into him, because don't forget, the Manhattan DA's office has multiple investigations into the former president, including an indictment against the Trump Organization and Alan Weisselberg. So, who knows where this is going and which case might stick, but I do think the investigation is ongoing. It's just this one particular avenue had expired as expected when Mark Pomerantz and Carrie Dunn resigned.
So interesting that you say that, because I think a lot of New Yorkers, when they hear the headline, are thinking to themselves, oh, this is a clear case of the rich just getting away with something, or politics at play, and perhaps because Donald Trump is a former president, even if potentially he did commit a crime, which he has not been charged with anything yet, but even if he did, oh, well, this is just influence here. But what you're saying is that, no, actually, they may have enough and not need any more, or there might be so many other cases at work that this one can sort of fall by the wayside.
Look, I mean, a lot of cases like this are a judgment call. When is enough evidence enough evidence? And different people have different opinions on that. And so it was widely reported that Cy Vance, the former district attorney, along with Mark Pomerantz and Carrie Dunn, who are very, very well-respected prosecutors and lawyers, they all thought there was enough, albeit Mark Pomerantz in his resignation letter, I think, said, no case is perfect. They thought there was enough. But it's also been reported that other district attorneys, other assistant DAs in the case, felt that there wasn't enough. And when Alvin Bragg came in, he himself decided, made the judgment call that he didn't think there was enough. But so, it is a judgment call, and he just felt there wasn't enough. But he came out and made an unusual statement, which a lot of prosecutors don't comment on ongoing investigations. But I think there was so much public outcry against him. He came out and made the unusual statement saying, look, everybody calm down. I'm still investigating. And, the New York Times reported today that there's more subpoenas have gone out. And so I think that, to be continued. I think this particular grand jury has expired. I think this particular case, the way it was going in, has been pressed pause, but I do think we should all continue to look and stay tuned, because I do think the investigation continues.
Karen, we will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Have a great weekend.
For having me.